My safe bet for this, my bet for this. The Seahawks will not make the playoffs this year. Why? Because it's too outdated. If the Seahawks make the playoffs, all the teams that they face on their schedule, it doesn't measure to a lot of these franchises, a lot of these teams, a lot of people this year. They are battling to keep their franchise, to keep people buying their items, buying the jerseys, buying all it. And it's a crazy prediction by me, but I'm staying by it. I'm staying by that the Seattle Seahawks will not make the playoffs. And the reason being, there's too many factors, okay? But you have the factor of, well, they lost their corner, right? It's not really easy just when you lose a corner like that, especially if you're a team that drafts different from other teams or builds your roster around at different. So, and this is just wear and tear. So I'm safe with this bet because it's wear and tear. Wear and tear is just that your team eventually gets to this point. And I definitely see this happening. And the reason I see this happening is, well, it's just a huge stigma that the Seattle Seahawks have. They're building the relentless competition that comes with this. Okay, so I'm going to name you a few examples, okay? Detroit Red Wings, right? Okay, Detroit Red Wings have one of the best playoff records out of any sports team. It's like a oh my gosh, the Red Wings are in the playoffs again kind of thing. And that motivated hockey teams to go after the Red Wings, to say enough's enough, you know. Another thing too is Pete Carroll's smart. He's a smart guy and all. But eventually somebody, when there's money on the line, they're going to have to adapt to his stuff. It's the same way that people adapt to Bill Belichick, you know, and ended up beating Bill Belichick and figuring out Bill Belichick. So, yeah, I definitely there's a lot of factors in this. This is such a good gamble, but this is like where me and you are both putting cards on the table, right? Well, I'm going to put the card on my table and I'm going to put in the money. You know, I'm going to put in the money. I'm going to put it all in. And I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go because the biggest regression that does happen too is that I've noticed with O-lines, just looking at offensive lines, defensive lines, just looking at them, you could have a good year of your defensive line, right? Or you could have a year where you think your offensive line's like the more debatable one, right? But you see, Seattle had a good year with their defensive line. But believe it or not, in the NFL, that only translates kind of well. Because when you go into the next year, okay, there's always a digress. There's short lifespan because I used to work on the defensive line. I used to actually play on the defensive line. So you only have so many years on the defensive line, and every year, and that's what happens. And that's why the Bengals even had a chance to beat the Rams, because and that's why I was like, oh my gosh, Joe Burrow, you're such a goof. You're such a goof. If Joe Burrow didn't smoke that cigar, he easily goes out there and he beats the Rams. But yeah, defenders. What happens with their life shelf? I mean, there's a few rare ones. There's a few rare defenders on the D line that have maybe another year or 2 years, but you slowly get predictable, and then you're facing all these teams that they have there's a ton of teams. You're just playing against teams that are playing with, hey, I am not going to have the same team come up, you know, like that is a thing. And I'm also liking to gamble it because Pete Carroll, he's smart. He's very intelligent. He's an intelligent guy. He's smart enough. He'll get you working. He'll change the team and everything. But the programming goes like this. You've got a ton of coaches. It's not just even the players; it's the coaches. You got a ton of coaches that are at the risk of their careers. Okay, so I definitely like it this year too, because like Seattle is the one team that if they lost their cornerback, if they went out and lost their cornerback, it was going to be brutal on them. And the reason it's brutal on them is because like they just choose different components to what makes their team. Okay, so it can work. The components that and the choices that you make can work to your team, but if you get a cornerback that's injured and you put the chips. See, that's what I say. Pete Carroll put a lot of chips on that cornerback. Now his team is gonna get exposed. And then like we also have to go like last year. Last year was kind of funny, like how like Seattle was giving up 40 points, you know. And nothing against Geno Smith, you know. I'm pretty sure Geno Smith wants to work hard, you know. It's just like when you're giving up a 40-point total game, you know, just 40 points to DeAndre Swift, who eats pizza. Pizza. DeAndre Swift didn't even play that game, by the way. So that's what I'm trying to say. You're playing against a team that like it does not have themselves self-situated. This just happens to every NFL team, every single NFL team. I'm trying to tell you, every NFL team goes through this. It's just progression. It's how fast the NFL is. Oh my gosh, the NFL is fast, super fast. That's why I'm kind of like a little hesitant on what am I actually seeing, you know? All right, and then I think I could wrap up one more information for you too, why I would be picking the Seattle Seahawks to lose and why this could be it. I think it's just the simple drive. Sometimes it's the simple things. I saw Sean McVay, and he did not look happy. Oh, he did not look happy. And there's a thing. There is a thing to people who do not look happy. You know, they are willing to work hard. You know, they are willing to put in some work. That's pretty good enough for me, you know. It's also pretty good enough for me to be like, there's a lot of critical things just going around the Seattle Seahawks. What they got the 49ers and the 49. The Cardinals are pretty angry too. By the way, Cardinals are angry too. But like the 49ers. Oh man. 49. The San Francisco 49ers, they know that there could be a problem with them this year. But what like look, it's even in your background is the funny part, having a little teddy bear back there. But it's kind of like not just them wanting to fight with them, right? Because that's the way divisions are. Divisions are always wanting to fight. There's a lot on the Arizona Cardinals when you think about the Arizona Cardinals, too. Oh, have you ever thought about that? You should really think about that. Arizona Cardinals are a little angry that Mr. J.J. Watt just retires, you know? So I'm pretty safe with saying, no, you're not making the playoffs, Seahawks. No.